Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
How many jealous? Real friends, there's not many of us. We smile at each other, but how many honest? Trust issues, switch up the number. I can't be bothered, I cannot blame you for having an angle. I ain't got no issues, I'm just doing my thing. Hope you doing your thing too. I'm a deadbeat cousin, I hate family reunions. The church up by drinking at the communion. Smelling free wine, now my tux is ruined. In town for a day, what the we doing? Who your real friends? We all came from the bottom. I'm always blaming you, but what's sad, you not the problem. Damn, I forgot to call him. Shit, I thought it was Thursday. Why you wait a week to call my phone in the first place? When was the last time I remember the birthday? When was
Welcome in. You were locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And, you know, Andy's always on theme. Another version that we could have gone with to open the show tonight would have been on a throwback tip. Houdini's friends, how many of us have them? You know.
Come on now.
I know. I'm saying I'm just connecting the dots
Facts.
For the story.
I thought about that.
I'm just connecting the dots. Kanye, speaking of being a good friend, is definitely on theme and on point. We're going to be getting into Ye's not so surprising appearance at Diddy's trial today. We're going to, review a little bit of Jane Doe's testimony. I haven't caught you guys up in a minute. And why, allegedly, Kanye was supposed to or attempting to show up yesterday on Thursday. However, the prosecution allegedly didn't want that to happen because of something in Jane Doe's testimony. So we'll get into all of those details. And you know what else? Antonio Brown is always caught up in a little bit of drama. Former NFL star. We can call Antonio Brown a former NFL star, right? Yeah, I think that works. Since he made his departure from the league, probably even before that, people have said, does he have CTE? Well, there's something that happened this past May, and now an arrest warrant has been issued for attempted murder charges. So we'll get into those details. And Joie Chavis is clapping back at the haters. The internet came for her skills as a mother, actually, because her daughter that she shares with Bow Wow appeared at the BET Awards this past Monday, and people weren't feeling her dress. They thought it was a little inappropriate for a 14-year-old girl. So we'll get into what Joy had to say, and, maybe people should ask before accusing. So we'll get into all of those details. Plus, Ralph Pittman of Real Housewives of Atlanta, formerly Drew Sidora's ex-husband, he's out here posting receipts about Drew, and somebody thinks he's just simply a snitch. So we'll get into those details and more, but you know how this goes down. Before we get into the night's topics, we got a couple of things that are buzzing up and down your timeline that we wanted to get into and share. So the GNX tour hit Toronto last night, and listen, I don't know, if I was Drake, my feelings might be a little hurt, just slightly. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the video. It's all over. Catch it. Of the audience, sold out audience. One of the highest selling dates of the tour. There are two, both of them. And the crowd was singing along every word to Not Like Us. They definitely were. A minor, holding it very loud. And, are you ready for this? At the end of the show, they started chanting one more time, wanting Kendrick to perform Not Like Us, and run it back. So, I don't know. The Sixth God has got to be feeling a little, nonplussed at this moment.
Man, Drake should be okay, man. I know your city. I know you expected, for nobody to show up to the concert. But, you got to understand, people are fans at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Them same individuals that was over here talking about A minor in Toronto, if you have a show, they going to pull up too, my brother.
They are. So, we'll see. I'll tell you one thing. I would hate to get in a tiff with Kendrick. Kendrick keeps foot on neck.
My question is this, though.
Yes.
So we thought that the game was over at the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
And I think a lot of people was anticipating this show in Toronto. Is it officially a game over now?
It seems like it should be, right? That it's time to turn the page and move on.
Everybody move on. Drake, move on. Don't even trip.
Drake got new music coming out. People are still bumping Nokia. Who's coming in? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Whatever it says. That's my jam, though. When we come forward, we're going to get more into this Ye appearance at the Diddy trial and why some are speculating that Ye's name might have come up during the testimony. We'll get into those details and more on the other side.
Tell you much about the fam, dog. I just showed up for the games, dog. Maybe 15 minutes, took some pictures with your sister. Merry Christmas, then I'm finished, then it's back to business. You wanna ask some questions about some real like I ain't got enough pressure to deal with. Please don't pressure me with that bills.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again. Holla.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this. Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, call the bomb.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is Resilience in the Face of Chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
My friends, real friends, better than your friends. That's how we keep popping out that binge, yeah. No foes, real friends, we ain't even gotta pretend, yeah. Get bands, spin it all on my friends. Pull me up, and never let me down. Pull me up,
Welcome back in, friends. Real friends. That's what you guys are. Shout out to you. Shout out to Andy. Keeping it on theme. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So you know how this goes down. If you want to join the conversation at any point tonight, 800-920-1580. Hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. Hit me up personally. I'm at Stiletto Jill on all platforms. Really easy to find. And, of course, you can download the app, take us with you on the go. Join the YouTube chat, because you know what it is in the chat. And, of course, make sure that you remember that you can check me out on the weekends as well. So, Kanye, where do we begin? So, it was rumored yesterday that Kanye was supposed to show up for court in support of Diddy. He has been in close contact with Diddy's sons, according to sources. We know that back in January, he started openly supporting Diddy, even selling a T-shirt with a video still of the Intercontinental Hotel moment between Cassie and Diddy, right? There's some other things Jay has done throughout this that will kind of help shape this. Well, allegedly, he didn't step out of the car or show up at court, but was planning to. And the judge allegedly, the prosecution objected to him being in there. And the judge allegedly barred him from coming into the court yesterday. Allegedly, right? But he came today. And, he was cleaned up for Kanye, the DA that we've seen lately. Wasn't in some baggy sweatshirt and, unstructured pants. He was in a white denim fit, some saying an ode to Puffy's white Hampton parties and white parties that he used to have. The thing I did find interesting was he had like the wrap sunglasses with the little sunglass connector that you can hang around your neck that you see like the uncles wearing of a certain type. If you look, or, you look on the profile pictures of certain men and they'll have those glasses on and it's always too up close of a selfie and stuff. Yeah, he had those glasses on. And the interesting thing about why some believe they didn't want Ye in court to support Diddy, because today, I guess he arrived late. He met with Christian Combs, and I guess there was only space in the overflow room. And obviously, you can't have Kanye West in the overflow room at the trial. So he did not end up staying, but he did show up. Now, how this connects, allegedly, to Jane Doe. Well, Jane Doe finished up her, I believe it was 6th day of testimony yesterday, and she was cross-examined by Tenny Gregos, who is the daughter of Mark Gregos, one of Diddy's attorneys. And, let's just say that her story has been interesting. There are things that sound very similar to Cassie and things that do not sound similar to Cassie's story at all. This Jane Doe seemed to be much more. She said that there was very little, if any, violence in their relationship. So, key difference, there was a lot of drug use. In one instance, she actually slammed Puff's head into a marble countertop and told him that he was sick and that she thought he was a PDF and some other things. She was incredibly jealous of his relationship with Carisha, Young Miami, and told him about it. And the interesting thing that kind of ended up coming out was, she would contact the workers, let's say, the male escorts, they're no longer called freak-offs, they're called hotel nights. What happened in cross-examination, it was shown that there were several instances where, because remember, she said she just loved him, she just wanted to be with him, and she only wanted to spend time with him. And the defense brought up several times, in fact, 2 months, where they spent a lot of time together and no freak-offs happened. As a matter of fact, hotel nights, because that's what they're called now. When Puff asked her for a hotel night in one text message that was submitted, she was like, "I'm not feeling it tonight." And he was like, "All good, no pressure, ma." Not like what we've seen before, right? She also introduced a freak-off bag, her little bag of tricks that she would bring to the freak-offs. And in it included things like whips. And she had the Diddy Dukes. That's what Armand Wiggins called them. She would have them in matching shorts. And, just a different type of lifestyle. Now, remember, this woman has a child with a prominent rapper. If you're curious about who that might be, 50 Cent is pretty curious as well and has been posting a lot of things that might give you an indication of how these things are going down. Who can say? Some can say, but who can say? And so, along with that, she shared a story about how when I mentioned her being jealous of Young Miami and the Gina woman that we've mentioned several times. Her relationship with Diddy was mostly, behind closed doors. He did pay her rent. I mentioned he paid her $10,000 a month. She makes an additional, it came out, $10,000 a month from OnlyFans. Some months she's made as much as $50,000 a month. She also receives child support from her very famous child's father, who's also a rapper and one of the heavies in the entertainment industry. And so the notion that she couldn't survive without Diddy still paying her rent, by the way, he's also paying for a lawyer. And what it kind of seems like was happening was that she was back and forth, maybe talking with the prosecution as well as the defense, maybe hedging her bets, because it also came out that shortly, maybe right before, after the video, shortly after the Cassie settlement and information came out, she said she read that and realized that her story was very similar to hers. She started documenting things that were happening between she and Puff. Now, she says she doesn't have a reason why she was doing that. But again, she does have a lawyer. I mentioned the thing about Young Miami is that when Young Miami would, let's say Diddy got her a Bottega bag and took her to Nobu for, a birthday or a celebration, right? But she couldn't post her pictures. Well, the next week, because she and Young Miami's birthdays are close together, well, allegedly, he took Young Miami on a vacation and brought her Chanel. So she was angry. She was upset about that. And she talked about that. She wanted to be wifey. So back to Ye and how this may connect to him. She shared a story about one time when she broke up with Puff and she was mad at him a little bit. So she decided to go outside with a friend. They flew on a private jet with an iconic rapper and his wife or girlfriend. She used both interchangeably on the stand to Vegas for a night out, right? This was in January of 2024. Now, she said that they stayed at the Encore Hotel. They went to dinner, and then they went to a strip club. And then when they came back to the hotel, she recognized one of the escorts that she used with she and Diddy. And she claims that she saw this individual having intercourse with said iconic rapper's wife in full view of everyone. She also said that said iconic rapper was flirting with her and said, you know, I've always wanted to bleep you, right? And said iconic rapper also asked her if she knew other people that were in the lifestyle. And she gave them her favorite escort's number, who she talked to outside of Puff. Initially, she said, much like Cassie, she didn't speak to any of the escorts without Puff there. But she and this particular one had a friendship, and she said she felt comfortable with him, and she referred him to said iconic rapper. This was in January of 2024. Kanye's girlfriend was in Vegas in January of 2024 with Ye, celebrating her birthday. Her birthday is January 5th. Because, you know, some people were trying to figure out, oh, of course, everybody wants to attach Jay-Z and Beyonce. No, first of all, Jay-Z and Beyonce be at home. But, you know, whatever. But B's birthday is in September. Obviously, she's a Virgo. So Bianca's birthday, though, is in January. And there are photos of them online in the Wynn Hotel, which is next door to the Encore, where it caused a stir. If you remember, Bianca had on a little triangle top, a little short skirt, and was walking around barefoot with Ye in the hotel. There also were photos that were posted of Bianca at a strip club with black angel wings on and money all around her this same weekend, which similarly seems to match the description that Jane Doe was talking about with her night. So it is rumored that prosecution did not want Ye in the courtroom yesterday because Jane Doe was still on the stand. And perhaps if Kanye is the individual that is being referred to as far as the iconic rapper, then that could be considered perhaps witness intimidation or something. So, yeah, there's a lot happening there. Also should mention that when Jane Doe got off the stand, she hugged both the prosecution attorney and the woman that had been cross-examining her and grilling her and kind of basically making her look like an opportunist that was down for the situation and the lifestyle and just broke up with Diddy when he was arrested in September. So, again, there's a lot there. And, oh, by the way, it is being speculated that perhaps part of the reason why Ye is so in support of Diddy is because perhaps they're the same man. I mean, certainly if you look at how Ye treats Bianca, he does seem to sexualize her. We see her in what most would deem inappropriate attire at most of the venues where they are at. People are all for art, but there are some places that maybe this isn't the right place for this level of expression. Also, if you remember a few months back, Kanye tweeted out that he was I hope I can say this word on the radio, cuck. And he was spotted wearing a cuck t-shirt. And remember, he tweeted, "I'm a cuck. I'm so glad I got this out." Well, that behavior is kind of what we see happening with Diddy and his hotel nights / freak-offs. Okay? So, you know, maybe Kanye's like, I'm supporting him because that's me. Also consider at the time, Jane Doe, much like it was implied with Cassie, has a habit of moving on to the bigger fish. And if she's upset with one fish, she'll go to big blue fish to make one fish sit up and pay attention. So, I don't know, guys. This was the prosecution's witness. The prosecution is supposed to be wrapping up their case at some point next week, maybe as early as Wednesday, could be as late as Friday. And then the defense will take the stand. We haven't heard yet if Diddy is going to take the stand or what witnesses on their list. But it is pretty interesting. And we'll have to get into more details on the other side. Listen. I want your opinions on this Diddy case and what was happening and why you think Kanye showed up here today. Was it just to be a supportive friend, or is it a little deeper than rap? We'll get into all of that and more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Friends, before we go any further, let's be friends. The word we use every day. Most of the time we use it in the wrong way. Now you can look the word up again and again, but the dictionary doesn't know the meaning of friends.
And if you ask me, you know I couldn't be much help, because a friend's somebody you judge for yourself. Some are okay and they treat you real cool, and some mistake your kindness for being the fool.
We like to be with some because they're funny. Others come around when they need some money.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is calling out Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem after Senator Alex Padilla was handcuffed during Noem's press briefing.
I served with the Secretary for probably about 10 years in Congress. And Madam Secretary, I do not recognize you anymore. I do not know Kristi Noem.
Bass blasted authorities for not recognizing a sitting senator and pushed back on Noem's claim that LA is a war zone, saying the protests are limited and under control. Police are seeking to arrest former NFL star Antonio Brown on attempted murder charges tied to a Miami shooting last month. The 36-year-old was detained at the time. Brown last played in the NFL in 2021. And 6 alleged members of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, who are all white, are in custody for the brutal beating of James Simmons, a black man at a bar near Fort Wayne, Indiana. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Pasadena delays 210 eastbound leaving the 134 in stretches to the 57 in San Dimas. Also, let's head out to the drive on the 605. We're going to start in Los Alamitos, northbound slowing away from Catella to the 91. And more delays ahead in Norwalk from the 105 in stretches to the 10. Also very tough right now in Irvine. This is the 55 northbound. Delays from the 405 all the way to the 91 freeway.
Enjoy a revolutionary shopping experience. Wild Fork Foods Meat and Seafood Market has unbelievable prices with impeccable quality. From farm to freezer, premium meats and seafood, everyday grocery staples, and meal solutions. Visit wildforkfoods.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
12 HBCU student athletes will be competing Saturday in the finals of the NCAA Division I Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon. North Carolina A&T has 3 athletes competing for a national title. Xavier Partee in the triple jump, Olivia Dowd in the women's triple jump, and Spirit Morgan in the women's high jump. Marcia Say of Howard is the only HBCU athlete to qualify for the finals in 2 events. Say is in the women's 100-meter hurdles. She is also a member of Howard's 4x100-meter relay team. The track and field finals kick off at 11:30 Saturday morning. ESPN Plus will have live coverage. Long Beach native Russell Westbrook declined a $3.4 million player option to stay with the Denver Nuggets. He will become a free agent on June 30th. The 36-year-old Westbrook is entering his 17th season in the NBA. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Westbrook still would look good in a Clippers uniform. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
1455 Frazee, San Diego. CordellCordell.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ayo, the coat lighter, the rope chain brighter, the choke chain tighter, the close range sniper, the dope game lifer, her throat game nicer, the propane lighter, money old like Biden. I walk around like King Tut, got it out the mud, I cleaned up, I'm blinged up, shirt off, if I'm inked up, don't blink, one sip pink punch, she drink, she eat it, I bring lunch, said she bout that action, I'ma flip it till she scream cut, war now, one shot, knock go now, silencer on, no sound.
Welcome back in, you were locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Is that New Wayne? All right. So there's two songs, or is that the same song?
What do you mean there are two songs?
So I like the song with Big X the Plug.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another one.
Band from N.O.
Okay, that's the one that everybody likes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a sample from Band from TV from Noriega.
All right.
And Nikki just
I know she dropped her remix and she was dissing Shannon Sharp, but it was a misunderstanding.
Really?
That's what Shannon has said.
I gotta tap and listen to it. Did she come off fire too?
I didn't listen to it.
Okay.
I just heard about the bar. You know what I do think is interesting, speaking of Shannon Sharp? Where are those Club Shay Shay drops? Every week we were hearing about some snippet, some tidbit from Club Shay Shay. It's been really quiet.
He's in a legal battle.
After the suit. Right, I know.
But you can still tap in on Nightcap. He's still doing Nightcap.
He's still doing Nightcap, but even that, like I said, I noticed the little sponsor, little logos have
I see what you're saying.
You know,
Shannon Sharp will be
diminished,
okay.
You know?
He'll be all right.
I'm just saying, again, we are obviously waiting to see what happens. But if you support Shannon Sharp, y'all tap in with him.
Absolutely.
Or whomever. All right, so more on this Diddy and Ye. We got some conversation going in the chat. So let's see. Morris Phillips says, revenge sex about Jane Doe. How stupid. And he also says these people were obviously out of control. Fahima says, Hotel Nights, Lifestyles of the Rich and Infamous is my proposed working title for the Diddy film trial of the 21st century. Do you imagine, because I do, that this maybe the trial or some portion of it will end up like a Made in America with O.J. Simpson? I mean, the People versus O.J. That's the scripted version. Yeah, or something like that. Can you see that happening, Andy, at some point? I mean, are they going to just concentrate on the trial? Are they going to concentrate on all of it? I just know somewhere somebody is getting ready to release this. There's already been like 7 documentaries.
I was about to say, yeah. Netflix, Hulu, Tubi.
What is interesting, though, is where's Fiddy's? What's going on with that?
Fiddy's okay. He just he's
I
up
know
the little
he's okay.
family. What is it? Family freak offs. Did you see that? The
he
AI
posted
thing?
the Freak Off Matters with a play on the Family Matters outro. What I do wonder, right? Well, I guess because he's not in the courtroom, so it doesn't matter. But I know that the attorney general said that they would be looking into some of the online revelations that revealed Mia's true identity and the speculation that is coming along with Jane Doe. So I do wonder, is 50 getting any blowback or heat because of the things that he is putting out there? I mean, it's not subtle at all. Morris Phillips says Tyler Perry got a future movie production. No, sir. No, sir. No. No, thank you. No TP shade. Just he's not who I would want to put on deck for this particular story.
Why not?
I just think that there is a level of what is the problem, man?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
I think there's a level of depth and detail that would be required with this particular story that is not something traditionally I have seen in Tyler's productions. I'm going to say Ryan Murphy. That's who did The People versus OJ. You know, did he also do the Aaron Hernandez story, which I don't think was that good. But, you know, somebody, we know that it's going to happen. And it's just it's too intriguing not to, right? And I will also point out that this is the first mention of a celebrity being involved in a freak off outside of Puff. However, none of these things are in any way in the format or in the discussion or conversations as all the rumors that were circulating before the trial came to be. Remember, everybody was like, oh, everybody that was at a Diddy party was in a freak-off. And we see that the freak-offs didn't even roll anything like that. His parties, as everyone told you, it's not just a free-for-all and you walk past a room and 2 people are getting it over there, 5 people over there, somebody's in the corner hanging upside down. It clearly wasn't like that. Fahima says 50 is waiting for how the trial ends prior to starting production. I could see that. I just wonder, though, now that everyone knows that 50 might have a bias, perhaps, you know, does that change the way that they feel about anything that he might bring forward? So, in short, we'll have to see. There's a lot there. And of course, you know, we're on week 5. So next week we will get into all of the other details. Now, let's get into this Antonio Brown story, because I actually am unsure really if he is not being given an unfair shake, which is crazy to say when we're talking about Antonio Brown, because he is someone that I usually will not give the benefit of the doubt to. But he's wanted for attempted murder after an incident that took place at a May 16th celebrity boxing event hosted by Aiden Ross. Now, I don't know if you saw the video online of people trying to jump Antonio. There was a situation, a bunch of people, it was like more than a few. And they came at him, and he got them to back up off of him by pulling out his piece, right? Brown allegedly punched a man, grabbed a security guard's gun, and ran towards the same man with the weapon. 2 gunshots were heard on video. The victim allegedly told police that Brown fired twice and possibly grazed his neck. Brown originally claimed that he was jumped and had been let go by the police, but now he's facing a $10,000 bond and will be placed under house arrest if he's arrested. So there are videos from that night, like I mentioned, making their rounds. And, you know, we'll have to see what develops. But he is someone that is attracted to chaos. That's the long and the short of it. So what can you do?
I mean, when you create the chaos is going to, you know, come back to you.
Indeed, indeed. So, you know, spiritual prayer, all of the good things for him. When we come forward, we're going to get into Joie Chavis defending herself against the internet's commentary about her daughter, Shai, and what she wore to the BET Awards. We'll get into all of that and more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, also known as AD, a type of dementia that affects memory, thinking, and behavior, making everyday tasks challenging. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? There are things you can do to help reduce your risk for developing AD. Managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure is crucial. Staying physically active, maintaining social connections, eating a healthy diet, and keeping your mind engaged with activities like reading or puzzles can all contribute to brain health. It's also important to recognize some common signs and symptoms of early AD, such as forgetfulness that causes problems with everyday life, asking the same question a few times in a row, and difficulty concentrating on basic tasks. If you see these signs in yourself or a loved one, don't wait. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to managing AD effectively. To learn more about AD and a potential treatment option, visit treatallzearly.com. That's treatallzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So as a quick reminder, you know we are fast approaching our 4th anniversary, and we have several events that are popping off. And the list, it's getting tight. It's kind of like, you know, coming to Jill show. You got to RSVP to make sure that you're in the building, right? So head over to KBLA.com right now and register for the events. They are free, but you must register. If you're planning on coming to our Juneteenth barbecue, make sure that you stop by either a grocery store or a chain restaurant and get a gift card in any amount, because we have not forgotten about Altadena, and we are still making sure that the residents that have been displaced are being taken care of, because, you know, housing is just one of many things that several of these people are still in need of. And I'm sorry, let me run that back. Housing is the only thing that some of these people are being provided with, and they're still trying to pull their life back together. So, you know, keep that in mind. All right, let's get into this Joie Chavis story. So she and Bow Wow have a daughter, Shai. She's 14 years old, beautiful. And we know Bow Wow was Mr. 106 in Park. He hosted the pre-show for the BET Awards, and he was joined by Shai on stage during the pre-show. Well, fans were upset with her ensemble. They felt it was a little too grown for a 14-year-old. There was a cutout that was, you know, kind of in her hip area to the back. It was a little revealing, perhaps. And you could tell that Shai was a little uncomfortable in the look. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead. What do you have to say?
Was she cheeky or something?
It's just not that she's cheeky. It showed, you know, people just felt it not appropriate to have a cutout on a young lady at that age, especially with all of the things that we're hearing now and, you know, being sexualized, blah, blah. Yeah.
People, 14 is like, what, high school? Like 9th grade, 10th grade?
I think she's in 8th or 9th grade, yeah.
Okay, people forgot. You know, them dances. You know what I'm saying? Sadie Hawkins and all that. 14. Yo.
I'm going to send you a picture of it. But Joy herself agrees with them. But she's saying, don't point the finger at me. She was not there. They hired a stylist for the outfit. She saw the look, thought it was cute, but didn't know that it had a cutout, and the stylist didn't mention anything. She was not at the awards, and this is what she said went down.
The picture that they sent over, it looks like a long sleeve dress that's like has jewels on it and a thing hanging on the side. I was like, oh my God, so cute. At no point do we know that it was a cutout. But whoever was styling her should have said, hey, there's a cutout. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And when she put it on, I think they were like, oh man, we didn't realize. Oh gosh, what do we have to back up? No, they don't have to back up. We're in the trailer. She has to go out. What? So she was just saying she didn't like how she had to like do this the whole time. She just felt kind of like, you know, weird and uncomfortable. And I was like, well, yeah, because it's inappropriate. Yeah, she had to deal with thousands of grown people talking about her, saying, I know her mama, but her mama ain't do the thing. Mama was not in attendance. Mama was not around. Okay? Mama would have had... If I was there, I would have went to the closest whatever, or Instacarted some little black shorts to put underneath. But that's just a mistake. That's not gonna happen ever again. Right, I would have went right there at Macy's or somewhere. Of course I'm clearing it up because a lot of these people are trying it. Like, It's cool. You have your comments. I had my comments. I saw it when y'all saw it. She went from the trailer to we had no time to even speak. I didn't say, oh my God, let me see her. Nothing. I saw it online with y'all and I said.
Well, so, I mean, to be fair, sometimes one parent is responsible. I do wonder if the stylist maybe should have checked in or thought about her age in this. And, but sometimes, internet, you don't know everything, right? You don't know. Maybe ask a question instead of throwing accusation at times. Girl, did you let your baby wear that? Why you let your baby wear? Because I know you're still going to be sassy, right? But maybe ask and saying, would you know? Because what we are discovering quite a bit is that y'all really don't know nothing.
100%. You follow clips and then, you know what I'm saying, you guys develop an opinion over a clip instead of, you know what I'm saying, doing your due diligence and, figuring out what the discussion was beforehand. So I'm with that. But question I have is, so that's Bow Wow's daughter.
Yes, it is.
So Bow Wow could have said something, right? Bow Wow could have put like a jacket.
He said he didn't see her until she hit the 106 and Park stage for the pre-show. So he was in his trailer doing his thing, whatever. And they brought there are, productions assistants, runners, talent escorts on set that are responsible for going and getting the talent and escorting them to wherever they're going to show up at.
I like to think that before the cameras even came on, that Bow Wow saw her, right? I'm assuming they were on stage or maybe she was walking. I don't know how it was, but I'm just thinking that Bow Wow got some juice, right? You Mr. 106 and Park. Mm-hmm. You could have made an executive decision to be like, you know what? We're not going to do this interview right now.
Maybe.
Just saying.
So, but it happened, and it sounds like for the most part, it was just one of those things. And, I do feel for the young lady having to be critiqued and ridiculed by strangers with varied opinions. That must be tough as a teenager.
How did she feel? Did we get any words
She
from
did.
her?
No, she said she was a little uncomfortable about...
With the outfit?
Yeah, and the split. And it was kind of short. So I'm going to send you a picture of it.
No, I mean, I saw a little bit of the clip. I mean, it didn't look horrible. You know what I'm saying? But part of me is like, she could have made a decision to not wear the outfit, right?
There was no other outfit for her to wear, though. If she didn't wear that,
who is what does she do?
She's Bow Wow's daughter. She's Bow Wow and Joie's daughter.
Okay, I get it. I'm just like,
why was it important?
Yeah, like you probably could have been in a hoodie and some t-shirts or something like that.
No, you cannot do that on the red carpet for the BET Awards.
Yeah, but who are you though? That's my point.
But then it would be like, why does Bow Wow have his daughter out here? Why does Joy have her daughter out here?
Because the dress that we had was inappropriate. Simple as that. Just saying.
Yeah. Well,
they put that upon themselves. I hold them accountable.
You hold them accountable?
Yeah, that's on y'all. Y'all could have easily just been like, you know what? Nope, no camera, no nothing. But y'all proceeded. Y'all felt the need to show your daughter off for whatever reason.
She also, Joy is the she, pointed out, that it was a double standard. Everyone was praising the father-daughter moment until they flipped it about fashion. And, then they ran it back on the mama. And I know she did that, blah, blah, blah. And he should have known better. But, we're going to judge. We're going to critique. We're going to say a lot.
So Bow Wow didn't get any flack?
Not really.
He got
a little
praise.
bit.
He got praise because of the father-daughter moment.
Right.
Interesting.
I'm sure some people had something to
Selective
say.
outrage.
But
y'all be tripping.
That 100% is true. Did I mention when we were talking about Ye, about his latest album and the album title of it? I didn't. It's Cuck. Yeah. So, just wanted to throw that in there. All right, last story before we get out of here. Ralph Pittman, the ex-husband of Drew Sidora, they have been going back and forth spreading the petty, and Ralph is still letting his off. He claimed he was more than a husband. He was like, I was her partner, investor, music producer, and strategist. He tried to clear up the Tampa trip story, saying that it was resolved before filming began, and he posts text messages claiming he went to Tampa to spend time with God. And was coordinating with Bravo producers. He also hinted at, some receipts of what he feels are a little inappropriate or a little, overstepping boundaries of Ty Young and Drew. The fans are like, dog, cool it. Some at least. Kenya says he's a snitch. And I just feel like, well, what are you going to do now, sir? Because for the men of that show, once they leave, what happens? Do we care? I don't know. But shout out to them. Shout out to my fellow Torian. I believe we might even have the same birthday. I think she, along with somebody else I just found out has Victoria Monet. I think Drew Sidora and Victoria Monet and Gigi Bryant and Shaq's youngest daughter and me. We all share the same birthday. All right. That is your entertainment news update for today. I hope that you had your snacks ready, your libations, and you were all snacked up and filled up. Make sure that you are locked in each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. for all the tea with receipts. This is your front row seat to the culture. Thank you guys for locking in. I'll see you guys next week.
Back, we gon' clap 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 back.
When they hollering about rule, here's the real. It's top like champagne bottles to chill or nothing but ice. Now I'll send it up to the greatest to tell them I'm nice too. Plus push some nice grooves and ink roll like deuce, man. I'm OG Bobby J, and we the soccer fields. You respect that, or get your mind around and get it pushed back. Y'all don't want that. I send them to the morgue while keeping my bouncing for sure. In the club with no, got them taking it off. Can't help that. I'm that puts it down once I hit that.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is calling out Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem after Senator Alex Padilla was handcuffed during Noem's press